You do not deserve that which you do not appreciate. When you're the best of the best, you have to perform on your worst day. If you're a sprinter or a professional fighter, you are due to have a race or a fight on the 15th of July, 2025, and the day rolls around and you have a cold, you're not allowed to lose because you have a cold, because nobody cares. They're not going to say he lost because they have a cold. They're going to say he lost. You have to be better than your enemy on your worst day, and they may be having their best day. This is the reality of life as a man. I say, what are you fighting for? Fighting? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Why are you getting up and consuming calories? Why are you waking up and doing anything anymore? You could lay in bed for the next 2 weeks. You'd find food. You wouldn't starve. Your bills would get paid. Why are you even waking up in the morning? What are you even doing with your life? What is your goal? What is your objective?
Because as you get better and as you do more, you're going to come up against more and more stress. They go together, yin and yang, light and dark. Success and stress, boom. Everything you've ever wanted and all the bullshit it comes with go together. That's how it goes. And you're going to get to a certain level along the ladder, and at one point you're going to tap out. And how you tolerate stress is to accept that stress is good for you. If I don't feel stressed, I get worried.
The normal person is more in jail than most people in jail. Think about this, right? You're in jail, let's say. You wake up, you're with your guys, you're with your cellmates, you're tired, you sleep, food comes, you get to train all day long, you eat your food, you go back to bed. If you're living a normal life, you're working at Starbucks, alarm goes off, you better get up, can't lay in, you're not with your friends, you're not living with your friends, you ain't got time to train, you're in Starbucks all day, you have no money because all your money's going on rent. You're more in jail than the fun motherfucker in jail. You may as well go jail and just do push-ups with the guys. Most people's lives suck so much, they're better off in jail.
But I would say that there is a karmic retribution in the universe, and if you take dirty money, you're going to pay the price for it one way or another. I think if you scam somebody, you pay the price for that. I think if you rug pull crypto coins, you pay the price for that. I like to believe the universe is fairly balanced. And I like to believe that everybody gets what they deserve, both the good and the bad. And I like to believe that I deserve all of the amazing things I have, and I deserve all of the bad things that happen to me. And that's probably me optimizing my mind for competency and the capability to deal with things. Because if something bad happens to me and I believe I deserve it, it's much easier than going, oh, poor me.
Okay. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say, I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It's always sucked. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man. This is why, you know, when girls have those loser dudes who are like saying, I love you so much, I love you, and the girl doesn't give a shit that the loser dude's telling her that he loves her. Why is that? Because the female is smart enough to understand on an intrinsic level that as a man, if you have no capability to give her things, if you have no competence, if you have no skills or use case, that your love is completely useless. You wake up when the alarm goes off. You go to your job. Sorry. Hi, boss. Okay, you go to your job. And you watched it and you laughed. And guess what? You're still a wagey. Still. Quite remarkable, really. It's almost impressive how monumentally you fail. Most of you are boring losers. And when I say that, I don't mean that to insult you. I just want you to understand that it's true. When you walk into a room, nobody pays attention. You don't stand out. You're not unique. You have no charisma. No interesting life stories. Your coolest life story is the time you got on an EasyJet flight and went and got drunk in another country. That's your story. You've not done anything. You're not taking any risks. You've not been anywhere. You've not accomplished anything. You've not conquered any lands. Nothing. You're a loser. And that doesn't bother you, but it should, because what you don't understand is that if you're not a unique individual, you are soon to be absolutely and utterly replaced by artificial intelligence. As it stands right now, most people are so uninteresting and so unremarkable that you could replace them online with a chat GPT bot and you wouldn't really notice. And I wonder, if I were to ask you, do you actually, truly believe in your heart that you can escape the Matrix? Do you believe you can do what I have done? Do you believe you can make $1 million a week and buy a new car every week and get arrested and become more famous and doesn't matter and come out and have all these famous friends and travel the world and all these women can adore you? Do you actually believe in yourself, or have you been demoralized? The universe will make you big, strong, famous, and rich. You can have everything you've ever desired, all of it, if you actually want it. But if you don't actually want it, it's not going to give it to you, because you cannot fool the universe and you cannot fool God. Because people often ask me, Andrew, you grew up poor and now you're very rich. What's it like? Is curating your life? Absolutely. And when you curate your life, by extension, you have to curate the people you spend time with. It's very difficult for you to keep the exact same people you currently spend time with and change your life. Because you either have to elevate these people along with you, many of which are not capable of elevation, or you would have to suppress certain qualities within these people, even if you believe it's for their own good, and you would be resented for it. So when you change your life, the people you spend time with has to change. But what truthfully is the best thing about being rich is you no longer have to interact with anybody you don't want to interact with, which means you can avoid a huge percentage of the population which are not capable of improving themselves or understanding you as a person. The simple explanation for why I have a disdain for weak people is that they are liars. And anybody inside of your internal circle should never be a liar. You can have people who disagree with you. You can have people who perhaps do not share your worldview, but they should at least be honest, because lying is treachery. And weak people are always lying to themselves. So how can you expect them to tell you the truth? And you can't rely on weak people, because even if they have the best of intentions, even if they love you with all of their heart, their love means nothing, because external pressure will make them break. It doesn't matter how much they love you. It doesn't matter what their intention is. It doesn't matter what they promise. It doesn't matter what they say. All that matters is all of that will go out the window once they break, because they are weak.
And the number one thing I will not do is talk to negative people. I don't want to hear, I don't care what your story is. I don't care what happened. If all you do is complain, you are not around me, because it is sticky. It's sticky to you. It's sticky to the universe. It leaves a residue. I don't want to hear it.
The weekend and I'm going to work. It's amazing to me that people think, it's a certain day of the week. I don't need to work. I need to chill. Chill why? You have an empire? Does everybody know your name? You have billions of dollars? Are you in charge of the fate of hundreds of families who work for you? No. What do you need to chill from? You need to chill from basically achieving nothing all week long. At best, you'd manage to tread water. Now, when I say this to people, they say, but it's the weekend. So? I can't stop myself working as a person who doesn't need money. And then there's people with no money who don't work. It blows my mind. Which is why the winners are winners and the losers are losers. Losers do a little bit of work and rest. Winners work as hard as possible and worry they're not working hard enough.
Because money alone doesn't work anymore. We live in Dubai. Who doesn't have a Lambo? Who cares? Who doesn't have money? Who cares? Right? So you can't just have money. You need to have money and charisma and intellect and wisdom. And you need to be smart. You need to be brave.
And physically fit.
And physically fit, in good shape. You have to add all these things together, and then you need to stay. And it's getting harder and harder for men to break through to that 1%. And the true answer to all of these things is you need to be prepared to take risks and suffer the pain of failing, because you're not going to win every single time.